Hello friends, welcome to the next session on AI. Today we'll talk about a new type of algorithm called hill climbing algorithm which works on the local search. I'm sure you'll have gone through the heuristic search presentation, the lecture what I delivered, because hill climbing is a heuristic based search algorithm. So before starting with the hill climbing, let us look at a local search. So the uninformed and the informed search algorithms that we have seen are designed to explore search spaces systematically, which we already seen in the previous lectures, uninformed and informed search. If you can recollect, I had taken an example of 8 puzzle problem. They keep one or more path in memory and record which alternatives have been explored at each point along the path. So in case of informed and uninformed search, whenever we wanted a solution, we had a solution in the form of a tree or in the form of a graph. That means from the initial state to reach the goal state, we had followed a particular path and the whole path is a solution. So when a goal is found, the path to that goal also constitutes a solution to the problem. In many problems, like n-queen problem, the path to the goal is irrelevant. That means how you reach the solution is not important, but the solution is important. If the path to the goal does not matter, then consider a different class of algorithms that do not worry about paths at all. So this is what local search algorithms. And hill climbing is one of the example of the local search algorithm. So local search algorithms operate using a single current node and generally move only to neighbors of that node. That means current node is nothing but your current state. No search tree or graph. We don't have any search tree or graph. Why? Because we are not storing the path as a solution. Only the goal state is the solution. They use very little memory, means only current state and the goal state is stored. So the memory is very less. They can often find reasonable solutions in large or infinite state spaces. Remember the word I have used here is often, not always. Useful for solving pure optimization problems in which the aim is to find the best state according to an objective function. Here an objective function is nothing but the heuristics. In optimization problems, the path to goal is irrelevant and the goal state itself is the solution, right? So again, I repeat, in case of hill climbing algorithm, what is important for us is the goal state, not how do you reach the goal state. The path, the intermediate states are not stored at all. Only the goal state is stored and that is the important one. Okay, so let us look at a very simple example of n-queen problem. N-queens problem is like your chessboard. Here put n queens on n by n board with no two queens on the same row, same column or diagonal. Otherwise they'll attack each other. So what you need to do is you need to move a queen to reduce the number of conflicts, that is number of attacks. And objective function is what? Number of conflicts. So instead of taking an n queen or 8 queen problem, I have taken a smaller example to make the concept better, more clear. That is 4 queens problem. To start with, for 4 queen, again we have 4 by 4 board, right? And we have queens q1, q2, q3 and q4 are the 4 queens which are placed. This is my initial state and this is the goal state. Now if you look at the initial state, q1 is placed at a position 2, 2, right? Second row, second column. q2 is placed at the position 3, 1. Fine. If you look at q1, it is being attacked by q2, q3 and q4. How come? Because they are in the same diagonal. q1 and q2 are in the same diagonal. q1 and q3 are also on the same diagonal. And q1 and q4 are in the same row. Right? As we said, the conflict occurs if the queens are in the same row, same column or in the diagonal. So q1 can be attacked by q2, q3 and q4. Similarly, if you look at Q2 is in the same diagonal as Q1, so it can be attacked from Q1. It can be attacked by Q3, but it cannot be attacked by Q4 because Q4 is not in the same column, same row and not in the diagonal also, right? If you look at Q3, Q3 has attacks from all the three queens. Like it is in the same row with Q2, so it can be attacked. It is in the same diagonal with Q1 as well as with Q4. So Q3, the number of conflicts, if you count, Q3 has 3. If you look at Q4, the fourth queen, it has attack only from Q1 and Q3. Why? Q1 is in the same row and Q3 is in the same diagonal. So what we do is we apply an objective function and we move the position, we shift the queen Q1 from this position, that is from 2 by 2 to position 1 by 2. So if you look at this, the Q1 is moved from this position to this position. Now again you calculate the number of conflicts. If you look at Q1, Q1 is very safe. It does not have any attacks possible. There is no other queen in the same row. There is no other queen in the same column. There is no other queen in the diagonal as well as in this diagonal. So Q1 is safe. Now if you look at Q2, it has attack only from Q3 as it is in the same row. And Q3 has attacks from both Q2 as well as Q4. So what we do next, we move the Q3 from the position 3 by 3 to the position 4 by 3. So Q3 from here is moved here. Now if you look at it, all the queens are safe and their attack is not possible. If you look at Q1 is already safe, I already told you all. If you look at Q2, there's no other queen in the same column. There's no other queen in the same row, even in the diagonal. And if you look at Q3, again, no queen in the column, no queen in the row, and no queen in the diagonal, right? Similarly, Q4 is also safe. So this is a simple algorithm where we have applied a heuristic and hill climbing approach. So here what you can observe, what is the solution here? This is the solution. The solution does not count the intermediate states or the whole path. Only this is the solution. This is the difference between the informed search and this local search. I hope it is bit clear. We'll take another good example in detail, but let us first see about hill climbing algorithm terminologies. So this is the state space landscape of a hill climbing algorithm. What you can see is an objective function which will always take you towards the global maximum. Now global maximum is the highest peak, if you can see, right? And this is your goal state. Then you have something called local maximum. Now this is also a peak which is higher than the other peaks, not like global maximum. It is higher than the other smaller peaks, but it is lower than the global maximum. Next, what you have is flat local maximum. It is a flat surface area over the hill, right? There is no up and there is no downhill. So it is saturated point of the hill where there is no way to move ahead to reach the goal state. Then you have something called a shoulder. It is also a flat area, but where the summit is possible, you can go up. Now, next, what you have is a current state. This is the place from where this is the initial state, right? This is the objective function and this is the state space. Fine. Okay. Let us look at the algorithm now. Now, hill climbing algorithm is nothing but it's a combination of generate and test plus heuristic. Now, what is a generate and test algorithm? Define a current state as an initial state. So, whichever state you are right now is your current state and that is defined as an initial state. Apply any possible operation on the current state and generate a possible solution. Now, when you say apply any possible operation, that means you apply some heuristics to the current state and come up with a new state. Now, compare newly generated solution with the goal state. So, whatever newly generated state you have, compare it with the goal state and check. If the goal state is achieved, then you quit. Otherwise, no new states are possible. Like you cannot create new states, then also you quit. Otherwise, you go back to step 2 and apply a heuristic function again to the newly generated states. This is the concept what we'll be using in our hill climbing. Is it fine? So what we are doing, we have an initial state, we apply a heuristic function to it, And once you apply heuristic function to it, you get a new state. If the new state, what you get is a goal state, the work is done. Okay, you quit the problem. If the new state is not possible to generate the new states, why? Because the new states might have more heuristic function value as compared to the current state. Another thing is, even once you create, then you quit. And if once you create the new state, and if it is not a goal state, go back on the step 2, again apply the heuristic function and come up with the new set of new states. I'm sure it is clear, generate and test plus heuristics. Okay, now it works well with very simple problems. As it is an exhaustive search, it is not feasible to consider it while dealing with the large problem spaces. So hill climbing algorithm. Again, define the current state as an initial state. Loop until the goal state is achieved or no more operators can be applied on the current state. Fine? Okay. Apply an operation to the current state and get a new state. Okay, so you apply heuristic to the current state and a new state is generated. Compare the new state with the goal. Quit if the goal is achieved. Otherwise, evaluate the new state with the heuristic function and compare it with the current state. If the newer state is closer to the goal compared to the current state, then update the current state. So the new state will become now the current state and the loop continues. It reaches the goal state with iterative improvements. In hill climbing algorithm, finding goal is equivalent to reaching the top of the hill. So I'm sure the hill climbing algorithm is clear. Again, I repeat, it is a looping structure. You start with the initial state, right? Apply some operations to it, come up with a new state. Now compare this new state with the goal state. If the goal state and the new state generated is same, you quit, the goal is achieved. Otherwise, evaluate the new state with the heuristic function. So whatever new states you have generated, compare it. How do you compare? You calculate the heuristic value of each state, compare it, and if it is less than the current state, then make this newly generated state as the current state and again go back to the loop and apply the same, apply the operations till you come to the goal state. Okay, now let us look at some points. The algorithm does not maintain a search tree. So the data structure for the current node only need to record the state and the value of the objective function. If you look at the previous slide, here we have said it like update the current state. So the current state value is lost and it is updated with the new state. So only current, so it does not store the data, previous data. Now, it does not look ahead beyond the immediate neighbors of the current state. That is why we call it as local. It is sometimes called greedy local search because it grabs a good neighbor state without thinking about where to go next. Greedy algorithms often perform quite well and hill climbing often makes rapid progress towards a solution. Again, sometimes in some algorithms, hill climbing algorithms works well and it is like a type of greedy algorithm. Now to make hill climbing approach little bit more clear, let us go back to our 8 puzzle problem. So I hope you all remember. If you don't, please go back to the previous video lectures and go through it. This is the initial state and this is our goal state. The heuristic function what we'll be using here is the Manhattan distance. And here the h value, the heuristic value is 2 of the initial state as compared to the goal state. So let me, I've just written it down to make it clear. Like in case of Manhattan, you count the vertical distance as well as the horizontal distance. So let us start with 1. 1 is at its right position. So the distance traveled is 0. Fine. Look at 4. 4 is not at its right position. It should be here. So how many movement it needs? It needs to move from here to here. So 1 vertical movement it needs. So here 1. Come to 2. 2 is at its right position. So 0 movements. Now come to 3. 3 should be here as per the goal state, but it is here. So it needs to make one horizontal movement. So just write here 1. Right? Next is 5. 5 is as per its goal state, so it is 0. 6, 7 and 8. 6, 7 and 8. All the 3 are at its right position, so just add 0. So what is the heuristic value? Heuristic value is 2. It is deviating from the goal state by 2. So this is the function what we'll be using in the whole example. I hope it is clear. Manhattan distance counting the vertical as well as horizontal moves. Okay. This is my initial state. This is the goal state. Now, okay. I'm sure you all remember this 8 puzzle problem. You have a blank square which helps you to make the movement. The h value here, heuristic value is 2. Now this square can move up, it can move down, and it can move on the right side. So we will have 3 new states generated. So once you move it up, this is the new state with the heuristic value 3, right? When you move it to the right side, this is again a new state with the heuristic value as 1. And once you move it down, the new state which has a heuristic value 3. So this all the new 3 states are ready, and the heuristic value is calculated as per the Manhattan distance. I'll not repeat how it came. Okay. Now if you look at it, which is the minimum one? This is the one which is minimum with the having h value as 1. So you expand it further. Now the square is in the blank square is in the center, so it can move up, it can move down, it can move to the left, it can move to the right. But if you move to the left, you go back to the same initial state, what you had started with, right? When you move it up, you get this new state where the heuristic value is 0. That means it is same like your goal state. When you move it down, the heuristic value is 2. And when you move it right, again the heuristic value is 2. Now when you look at it, the heuristic value is 0, and that is your goal state. This is the way you can reach a goal state from the initial state, but what is stored on the way, the whole path is not stored, only this is stored as a solution. Now let us look at again one more way of solving this. Now again I have the same initial state and this is my goal state. The initial state is a bit different now compared to the previous example, but the goal state is same. If you look at this initial state, again we are applying the Manhattan distance here. The h value of the initial state itself is 11 now as compared to the goal state. Now this is the blank square, only 2 movements are possible. It can move down or it can move to the right. So we expand it accordingly. Once you move to the right, this is the new state generated with the heuristic value as 12. Once you move it down, a new state is generated with the heuristic value as 10. Fine. Now, when you compare these two, this is less, so you expand this further. Now again, this can have 3 new states. It can move up, it can move down, and it can move to the right side. So once you move it down, this is the new state what you get with the heuristic value as 11. When you move it up, you get again a new state with the heuristic value 11. And when you move it to the right side, again you get a new state with the heuristic value 11. So what you can observe here, I have generated 3 new states, but all the 3 states have same heuristic value as 11. And another thing, if you can observe it, the heuristic value which was 10 initially, now it is 11. So there is no way to go further, and no, these new states will be selected. All are having the same heuristic value, and another problem is heuristic value is more than the initial state. So this is just another example of hill climbing algorithm where it does not work and gets stuck up at the local maximum. Because we didn't bother to expand this and check whether we get the solution or no. What we took a very local decision looking, okay, this is less, so let us expand this. And it did not reach the goal state. So what are the disadvantages of the hill climbing? Hill climbing is a short-sighted technique as it evaluates only immediate possibilities, so it may end up in few situations from which it cannot pick up any further states. This is what we have seen in the previous slide. There is no way it cannot pick up any further new state. So hill climbing algorithm is fast and furious approach. It finds the solution state rapidly because it is quite easy to improve a bad state. But there are some limitations to this search, like we have local maximum. As you have already seen, this is just an example of local maximum, right? A plateau and a ridge. Let us look at them again. What is local maximum? This is a goal state and this is what you reach at. So it is a state which is better than all the neighbors, but there exists a better state which is far from the current state. If the local maximum occurs within the site of the solution, it is known as the foothill. Once you reach this you will consider as a solution. You may not go there because again going here it is going down. It is not moving up. So you get stuck up here and you think this as a solution. So this is known as foothills. Is it fine? And that the previous example what we saw where the value heuristic function value was 11 is nothing but a problem of local maximum. Next problem what you face in hill climbing is a plateau, that is nothing but a flat area, right? In this state all neighboring states have the same heuristic value, so it's unclear to choose the next state by making local comparisons. As you saw H11, H11 and H11 all the three. So which one to select is a problem. Fine. Next what you have ridges as a problem. You can see all are at the same height. It is a challenging problem where the person finds two or more local maxima. So this is also local maxima, this is also local maxima. It becomes difficult for the person to navigate the right point and stuck to that point itself. So it is not that easy. There are some drawbacks associated with hill climbing. Now, even though hill climbing technique is much better than exhaustive search, it is still not optimal in large problem spaces. You can always encode global information into the heuristic function to make smarter decisions. As we said, heuristic functions are the one which guides you towards the solution. So if you use a good heuristic functions by adding a information which will help guide you to the global information, then it will be good, but it will add computational complexity, which will be much higher than it was earlier. So hill climbing algorithms can be very beneficial when clubbed with other techniques. So is it clear? Again, I repeat, hill climbing algorithm is nothing but it's a local search algorithm which uses heuristics, and it does not store the solution path. It just stores the solution state or the goal state. That is why it uses less memory. Memory is less, computation is also less. But it has some drawbacks, like it has local maxima, it has plateau, and it has a ridge. It may not give you good solutions when the problem space is more or the problem space is larger. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you.